There's a little movie, English movie, called Living. And what it is about a bureaucrat in the London office. And you could tell they're all bureaucrats because they all wear the same suit with a bowler on top. Yes, when you see these people enter a train, everyone who has a bowler has the same type of suit, and they enter the same type of building. They're all the same. And this is about a Mr. Williams, who's the head of one department. And 3 women went in there and gave Mr. Williams a folder. Oh, this has to go to this department over here. And then this has to go to this department over there. And then it has to go to that department over there. And they said, well, we were all at those departments. So Mr. Williams gives one of those people there a folder and to take these women to this department. And he gets the same runaround. Oh, no, I looked at this and it has to go to that department first. So he goes to that department. Then he goes to this department over here and that department back there. And he's back there with the folder and says, I've been all those. Well, were you there? Yes. To that department? Yes, I was there. And they sent me over here, and they sent me there, and they sent me there, and they sent me back here. So he hands Mr. Williams the department and says, we will get right back to this thing. So he takes the folder and sticks it in a pile of other folders. Now the whole desks are filled with folders. Bureaucracy. Reminds you what you went into City Hall. Well, you have to do this department over here, and you have to do that department. I'll give you a good example. For years, I wanted to see a stop sign at the corner on the street that I lived on. Why don't you have a stop sign there? Wow, there's really no reason for a stop sign there. There is a reason for a stop sign there, the crossroads. Why? Because this is the main thoroughfare across here, and people race their cars up and down here. And you have to be really clever to watch for cars. And you stop right here before. And one young lady one day ran across that thing. She got broadsided and she went, she got broadsided into the thing. If she would have been broadside on the driver's side, that would have been something else. She wasn't sure with that thing. It was a kind of musky day, and there was a gray car coming, and she didn't see it. If she would have stopped at that stop sign, very likely she would have seen it. But you petition there, and you say, hey, can you get a stop sign there? Can you get a stop sign there? Can you get a stop sign there? And one day, they're going around fixing the street signs, and somebody came out there. Can you put a stop sign there? Why? You got the paperwork on it? No. Yes, I submitted it. I submitted it and that thing. Guy says, yeah, we can put a stop sign there. So they put a stop sign in there. Did they do any paperwork on it? I don't know. Did they tell the alderman? I don't know, but there's a stop sign there. Well, back to Mr. Living here. Okay, Mr. Williams has a doctor appointment. Okay, he said, I got to go to the doctor and that. And the doctor says, I got bad news for you. You have stomach cancer and you have 6 months to live. Ouch. He doesn't go back to work. And he says, I want to end it all. So what he tries to do is bribe somebody. Here's all my pills. You can have those. And he was in a diner. All my pills. You can have those. I'll give you some money if you off me. Why? Because I'm dying of stomach cancer. Well, maybe you'd like to have a good time before you, because there was no thing as bucket list. Oh, he does. He brings him to a bar. They drink a little stuff there, and brings him to a house of ill repute. Oh, there's a girly dancing, a girly house. Oh yes, well, somebody's doing a pole dancer. Amusement concession. He's never been in an amusement concession. It's below. He's never been there, so he goes through all this thing. And one of the secretaries from his office was going to get a new job, and it turns out to be, I'm going to get this management job. She turns out to be a waitress, makes more money, becomes more interesting. Well, they meet, they talk, and everything else. And he says, have dinner with me, have a drink with me. And he breaks down and says, I'm dying of stomach cancer. I got 6 months. I try to tell my children that, nothing. I couldn't. They're bureaucrats. So he goes through all this sad story, and then he says, I got to do something. He takes it, Mr. Williams picks up the file. He takes the 3 women, and they go to each department that has to stamp this. I want you to stamp this. Yes, Mr. Williams. Then he goes to somebody of a higher authority, and he, oh, no, don't worry about it. I get to it. He says, I need it done now. And he says, I'm begging you. Will you do it now? Mr. Williams begging? Mr. Williams begging? When he goes to a department that needs to be stamped on that, like the architect of that thing, he sits there in the chair. And when somebody says, yes, I'm going to do it, I give my stamp of approval on it, he shakes everyone's hands. Unusual for Mr. Williams to do that. Well, Mr. Williams' playground is put in. It's winter time. The next shot at Kami is he's in a casket. And he passed, a couple letters were passed around. The son, my father never told me we was dying. Did he tell you? And she couldn't really say she told me, but he didn't tell you. And there's no way in the world he could have told you because, sons don't want to listen. But somebody else got a letter. Oh, Mr. Williams, the undertaker gives, or the preacher gives somebody a letter from Mr. Williams. And he reads it. And on their little train, 4-seater here, they are talking about why Mr. Williams should be a fine example for what we could do. And let's really go in there and let's really push these things through. Let's show that how he can do that. Turns out to be when they all get back to the office, somebody hands him, well, this needs to be done. So the guy in charge of that takes this and, okay, I will get back to it as soon as we can. He sticks it into a pile of folders. And they look around each other and it's not going anywhere. Bureaucracy has taken over. And one of the younger guys goes past the playground, which is done. And it has a little merry-go-round. It has swings. It has a slide. That's all it is. It takes from what was junk is now there. And the guy is looking at this, and a police officer comes past and says, can I help you? I'm just noticing. Guy in Bullard, I just noticing this playground. Mr. Williams. The police officer said, I think I saw this guy. Snowing outside. He was on the swing singing. Yes. The only thing he really accomplished in his life is that playground. Very good. I guess that's the other thing is you have to have dead people yeah. So that's a nice little film based on another film, but yeah, very good.